Have you ever found yourself in that quiet moment just before a kiss happens? That few seconds where everything seems to slow down, your heartbeat gets louder, the conversation fades, and there is this unspoken tension between two people, wondering who will take the first step. That moment carries so much emotion because both people are feeling something, but neither one wants to rush it. What many people don't realize is that the words spoken in that small window can completely change the energy. They can turn an ordinary moment into a memory that stays with someone for a long time. Today, we're going to talk about 5 simple words that can make a man feel deeply desired before a kiss. Not because he needs approval, but because he wants to know that the attraction, excitement, and connection are being felt on both sides. When people talk about romantic moments, they often forget one important thing. Men experience nervousness too. There is this common idea that a man is always confident, always knows exactly what to do, and never doubts himself. But in reality, many men are standing in that same uncertain space, wondering if they are understanding the moment correctly. He may be thinking, does she actually want this? Am I moving too fast? Is she feeling the same connection I'm feeling? On the outside, he might appear calm, but internally there can be a mix of excitement, attraction, and nervous energy. It is not necessarily fear of the person in front of him. It is the fear of misunderstanding the situation and accidentally ruining a beautiful moment that feels important to him. The beauty of that moment comes from the vulnerability that exists between two people. He may try to hide his nervousness by acting relaxed, smiling, making a joke, or slowly moving closer while waiting for a sign. But underneath that confidence, there is a genuine emotional reaction happening. A few honest words can completely transform the atmosphere, not because you are giving him control or simply allowing something to happen, but because you are showing him that he is not alone in feeling this connection. You are telling him without pressure that you are present, comfortable, and experiencing the same emotions. That kind of reassurance can be incredibly powerful because real connection is built when two people stop guessing and start expressing what they truly feel. Think about how many romantic moments never happen because both people are waiting. One person is hoping the other will make the first move, while the other person is trying to figure out whether the feeling is mutual. Sometimes all that stands between uncertainty and a meaningful connection is a simple expression of honesty. A man who genuinely cares about you does not just want to know that he can kiss you. He wants to feel that you actually want to share that moment with him. Those few words can remove the pressure, calm the nervous energy, and allow both people to stop overthinking and simply experience the connection that is already there. And the most powerful part is that those words do not need to sound like they came from a movie. They do not need to be dramatic, perfectly planned, or overly romantic. The most meaningful words are usually the ones that feel natural and sincere. It could be something like, I want this too. I've been waiting for this. Or, you can kiss me. Simple words, but they carry a deeper message behind them. They communicate, I feel the same thing. I'm comfortable with you. I'm choosing this moment with you. For a man who has been paying attention, respecting your boundaries, and trying to understand your feelings, that kind of emotional confirmation can mean everything. It creates a moment where both people feel seen, wanted, and completely connected. This is not about trying to control someone's emotions or using certain words as a strategy to get a specific reaction. It is not about creating a fake moment or playing some kind of romantic game. It is simply about connection. It is about creating an environment where both people feel comfortable enough to be honest with each other. A place where he does not have to constantly wonder what you are feeling, and you do not have to sit there silently hoping he understands every little signal. The truth is, people often misunderstand each other. We overanalyze small details, we hesitate, and sometimes we let a beautiful opportunity pass because both people are waiting for the other person to make the first move. A few genuine words can change that entire experience. When you express yourself in that moment, even with only a few simple words, you are doing more than just removing awkwardness. You are opening the door to a deeper connection. You are letting him know, I am feeling this moment with you. And suddenly, the kiss is no longer just a physical action. It becomes a shared emotional experience between two people who both chose to be present. It becomes a memory connected to the feeling behind it, not just the moment itself. Many people remember the words, the energy, and the emotions surrounding a special moment more than anything else. Those words can stay in his mind because they made him feel understood. They can become the memory he thinks about later, the story he shares with someone close, or the thought that brings a smile to his face when he remembers you. The reason those words become so meaningful is because they were not forced or carefully calculated. They were real. They came from a place of honesty. They showed him that vulnerability was not something he had to experience alone. It was something you were willing to share with him. And that is often what creates the strongest emotional connection. A man does not only want the excitement of attraction or the intensity of a kiss. What makes a moment truly powerful is knowing that both people were emotionally present, both were open, and both were brave enough to show what they were feeling. There is something incredibly powerful about simple words that people often underestimate. We live in a time where many believe love has to be proven through huge gestures, dramatic declarations, or unforgettable displays. But when it comes to attraction and intimate moments, especially the seconds before a kiss, it is often the quiet expressions that leave the deepest impact. Imagine that moment when everything slows down. The way he looks at you feels different. You notice his closeness, his energy, his hesitation. Your heartbeat changes, and suddenly a few seconds feel much longer than they actually are. In that small space of time, a grand speech is unnecessary. What matters are the small, sincere words that communicate exactly what you feel. You do not need to prepare a perfect line or memorize something that sounds impressive. In fact, trying too hard can take away from the natural magic of the moment. The most powerful words usually come when you simply allow yourself to be honest. Maybe you smile and quietly say, "You have no idea what you do to me." Maybe you look at him and say, "I love the way you're looking at me right now." These words are not powerful because they are perfect. They are powerful because they are personal. They feel spontaneous, and genuine emotions always create a stronger impact than something rehearsed. Being subtle does not mean hiding your feelings or making yourself smaller. It means expressing yourself with intention. Those gentle words create a moment where he no longer has to search for answers. They give him the reassurance that the attraction is mutual and that he is not alone in feeling the connection. Many men may not openly say it, but they appreciate that kind of emotional confirmation. Not just because it makes them feel desired, but because it gives them the confidence to relax and fully experience the moment. That small reassurance can remove the fear of misunderstanding, the worry of moving too quickly, and the hesitation that often exists before taking that next step. Think about that moment when you are sitting close together, the chemistry is obvious, and you can tell he wants to kiss you, but he pauses. Maybe he is waiting for a sign. Maybe he is trying to respect your space. Maybe he is simply making sure he is reading the moment correctly. That is where those few words can create a powerful shift. Not by pushing him forward, but by creating comfort. They transform uncertainty into understanding. They turn a moment of wondering into a moment of connection, where both people know they are choosing the same thing. You can create that kind of moment without trying too hard or forcing yourself to act a certain way. You do not need to become overly confident, dramatic, or imitate the kind of romance you see in movies. The most attractive thing you can bring into that moment is simply your presence. Sometimes the most powerful words are the simplest ones. You might quietly say, "This feels really good right now," or "You're making it hard for me to think straight." They are not loud statements, and they are not designed to impress. They work because they connect directly with the emotions already present between you. The magic is not in saying something extraordinary. It is in the timing, the softness of your voice, the way you hold eye contact, and the way your energy matches the moment. What makes those words meaningful is not how dramatic they sound, but how sincerely they are delivered. It is the small details that create the emotional impact. The slight change in your voice, the way you move a little closer, the expression in your eyes that says what words cannot fully explain. Suddenly, the moment becomes more than just physical attraction. It becomes a feeling of being completely in sync with another person. And remember, there is no perfect set of words that works for everyone. The goal is not to memorize some magical phrase or find the exact combination that guarantees a reaction. The goal is to express what is genuinely happening inside you. Maybe it is, "I love the way you look at me." Maybe it is, I wish this moment could last longer. Maybe it is something completely different that feels natural between the two of you. The most powerful words are the ones that come from a real emotional place. They are not created to get approval, and they are not spoken to create an image. They are simply an honest reflection of what you are experiencing. In that space, right before a kiss, there is already a shared energy between two people. Your words are just a way of acknowledging it. You're not trying to win him over or prove anything. You are meeting him where he already is emotionally. You are stepping into that vulnerable space where attraction, trust, and excitement all exist together. And when your words reach him in that exact moment, they become something much bigger than a simple sentence. They become part of a memory that stays with him because it felt genuine, personal, and unforgettable. There is a unique kind of energy that exists right before a kiss. It is quiet, but it carries so much intensity. It is that moment where neither person has fully moved forward yet, but both can feel something changing. You notice the little things, the way his attention shifts toward you, the way his voice becomes softer, the way the distance between you suddenly feels different. It is almost like the entire world becomes quieter for a few seconds. That feeling of anticipation is what makes the moment so powerful. The truth is, the kiss itself is only one part of the experience. A lot of the emotion comes from everything leading up to it. The excitement, the uncertainty, the attraction, the feeling of being completely present with someone you are drawn to. That is why a few meaningful words at the right moment can completely transform the experience. They do not interrupt the silence. They give the silence more meaning. They do not rush what is happening. They allow the connection to grow stronger. A quiet phrase like, "I've been waiting for this," or "Tell me what you're thinking," is not just conversation. It is an invitation to share the moment more deeply. It communicates, "I am here with you. I feel this connection too." That is the beauty of anticipation. It does not depend on being obvious or dramatic. It exists in the small moments, the gentle touch of a hand, the closeness between two people, the pause before something meaningful happens. The most memorable moments often come from the space between what is happening and what is about to happen. That feeling of almost the uncertainty, the excitement of knowing something could change at any second. That is what creates emotional intensity. It is not only about desire, it is about curiosity and connection. It is about wondering what happens next, while knowing that both people are fully engaged in the moment. Your energy, your words, and even your silence all contribute to that feeling. The right words are not a command or a signal that says, "Now you should act." They are simply a reflection of what is already there. They say, "I feel this too, and I am sharing this moment with you." When you say something like, "You make it really hard to resist," you are not demanding anything. You are acknowledging the chemistry between you. You are allowing the tension to exist instead of trying to eliminate it. That is what makes the moment so captivating. Many people believe romance is about moving quickly and creating instant sparks, but often the moments that stay with us the longest are the ones that slowly build. The anticipation, the emotion, and the connection create a deeper memory. He will not only remember the kiss itself, he will remember the way you looked at him, the way your voice sounded, and the feeling behind those words you shared. That is what makes a moment truly special. It is not about controlling the outcome or trying to create a perfect scene. It is about two people choosing to be fully present together. You are not waiting for him to take over, and he is not trying to force anything from you. Both of you are participating in creating something meaningful. The anticipation becomes beautiful because it is shared. Those words are not there to break the silence. They are there to deepen it, to make the connection stronger, and to allow the kiss to happen naturally. The goal is not simply for the kiss to happen. The goal is for the moment to feel unforgettable when it does. The next time you feel that moment approaching, when your heart starts beating faster and you can sense that the connection between you is growing stronger, do not feel like you need to create some perfect scene. Just say something genuine, something that reflects what you are actually feeling. Let your words add to the emotion instead of interrupting it. Allow them to keep that beautiful tension alive for a little longer, in that space where anything feels possible and neither person needs to rush, because sometimes a few quiet words spoken at the right moment can create an impact that lasts much longer than the kiss itself. They become part of the memory, part of the feeling, and part of the reason that moment stays special. There is something many people rarely talk about openly. Men want to feel wanted too, not simply accepted, not just appreciated, and not like they are lucky to have someone's attention. They want to feel genuine desire from the person standing in front of them. They want to know that the attraction is mutual and that they are not the only one feeling the intensity of the moment. But society often creates this image that men should always be the pursuers, the confident ones, the ones who make the first move without hesitation. Because of that expectation, many men learn to hide their uncertainty. They may look calm and collected on the outside while quietly wondering, does she actually feel the same way about me, or is she just being kind? That question can become especially powerful in vulnerable moments, like the few seconds before a kiss. You may not notice it because many men are taught to hide their doubts, but there can be a quiet internal conversation happening. He may be thinking about whether he is understanding your signals correctly, whether he is moving too quickly, or whether he might misunderstand the connection you both feel. When a man truly respects you and values the moment, he is not going to assume. He is going to pay attention. He is going to look for signs that you are comfortable and that you want the same thing. But sometimes silence creates confusion. Sometimes both people feel the chemistry, yet both are waiting for reassurance. That is where honest words can completely change the energy. When you say something that shows you are not just allowing the moment but genuinely feeling it, something shifts inside him. He no longer feels like he is standing alone on one side of the connection. He realizes that both of you are meeting each other halfway. Those words can bring a sense of calm, because now he knows he is not trying to read an impossible puzzle. He feels seen, he feels chosen, and that feeling is incredibly powerful because everyone wants to know that they are not simply being accepted but truly wanted. Imagine what that means for someone who is used to carrying the pressure of always initiating. Hearing something like, "I want this too," "You have no idea how much I like this moment," or "I love the way you look at me," can create a completely different experience. It changes the dynamic because now he is not just the person taking a risk. He is sharing a moment with someone who is equally present. The word that matters most here is chosen. Not chosen because he worked hard enough for it. Not chosen because he convinced you. Chosen because your feelings naturally led you there. That simple understanding can quiet the doubts in his mind and allow him to fully experience the connection. And the beautiful thing is that it does not require a dramatic confession or a long emotional speech. It only takes a few sincere words delivered with honesty. The power comes from the feeling behind them. When he senses that you are being authentic, his confidence grows, not in a way that becomes arrogant, but in a way that allows him to show up more openly. He does not have to constantly question whether he is crossing a line. He does not have to hold himself back because he knows you are sharing the moment with him. The kiss becomes something created by both people, not something one person risks while the other simply waits. That is when the experience becomes deeper. It is no longer just about attraction or physical chemistry. It becomes about emotional connection. And afterward, he will not only remember the kiss, he will remember the feeling that surrounded it. He will remember your expression, your voice, the way you made him feel in that exact moment. Because those words did not simply create excitement, they created recognition. They told him, you are not alone in feeling this. And for someone who is often expected to be the brave one, that kind of reassurance can feel incredibly meaningful. There is another powerful element in those moments, and that is confidence. Not the kind of confidence that tries to dominate the situation or prove something, but the quiet confidence of someone who understands what they feel and is comfortable expressing it. The moments before a kiss can feel like standing at the edge of something exciting and uncertain. Your heart is racing, your senses become sharper, and you start noticing every small detail, the way he looks at you, the sound of his voice, the closeness between you. That moment is built slowly through every glance, every smile, every small interaction that brought you there. The reason confidence is so attractive in that moment is because uncertainty exists on both sides. Both people are trying to understand what the other person feels. Both are searching for reassurance. So when you express yourself with calm certainty, it creates clarity. Something as simple as saying, "I know you want to kiss me," when said playfully and with warmth, does not have to be a demand. It can simply be an acknowledgement of the chemistry already present. It says, "I see what is happening here and I'm comfortable with it." But there is an important difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence comes from being connected to yourself. It does not need to overpower the other person. It does not need to demand attention. It simply communicates, "I understand this moment, and I'm not afraid to be honest about what I feel." That kind of energy can be incredibly magnetic because it creates comfort. Many people think confidence is about taking control, but true confidence is often about creating safety. It removes the pressure from the other person and allows the moment to unfold naturally. A man may still have those quiet thoughts running through his mind. What if I misunderstand her? What if I move too fast? What if she pulls away? So when you offer reassurance through your words and your presence, you give him the ability to relax. A phrase like, "You don't have to hold back," or "I know you've been waiting for this moment," can communicate understanding without forcing anything. It shows that you are aware of the connection and that you are participating in it. The most memorable words are not memorable because they are perfectly written. They are memorable because they reveal something real. They show confidence, honesty, and emotional openness. In a world where people often hide their feelings behind mixed signals and uncertainty, someone who can express themselves clearly becomes unforgettable. When you speak from that grounded place, you are not trying to impress him or create a reaction. You are simply sharing the truth of what you feel. So what does everything come down to? It is not about finding the perfect sentence. It is not about becoming someone else or trying to sound seductive like a movie character. It is about expressing your own truth in that moment. Whether your words show excitement, curiosity, affection, confidence, or playful attraction, what matters most is that they are genuine. Because right before a kiss, everything slows down. The heart becomes more aware, emotions become stronger, and small moments become meaningful. Those few words do not simply lead to a kiss. They shape the experience around it. They transform a simple physical moment into something emotional and unforgettable. The reason they matter is not because they are magical words, but because they carry something deeper: your honesty, your presence, and your willingness to share the moment completely. And that is what many people truly want. Not a perfect line, not a performance, but someone who is fully there, fully aware, and genuinely connected to what is happening between them.